We returned this week with another one of the OVR weekly shooting drills. This week we're moving up to an advanced or black level, which is our highest level, which is barricade judgment shooting drill. So the idea behind this is you're going to stand behind a barricade, you'll hear the beat, you'll present on to one side of the barricade, double tap 3 targets that are threats, step back behind the barricade to do your reload, go to the opposite side, shoot 3 more targets that are double tapping. The key parts on this are going to be, one, when you step around the barricade, again, you only want to expose as much of your body as you need to. So you don't want to step all the way around, and we'll go over that in a second. The other thing you want to make sure is that the weapon is actually beside or in front of the barricade a little bit. You don't want it behind the barricade, and you don't want the weapon actually touching the barricade either. Your hand can touch it while you have it on the weapon, but not the weapon itself. We don't want to risk any jams or firing into the barricade itself. Of course, reloads are reloads. There's nothing different about that. We've done those in other drills. And then to step to the opposite side, recognize your targets and engage those. So we've used this as a barrier for us. You can really use anything you want as a barrier. This just makes it easy to move around and easy to maneuver. So what I want to do is I want to kind of go over the bad technique first, and then we'll cover a little bit of the good technique. So a bad technique, and as always, this is one of our laser pistols. But the bad technique, when you come around the barrier, if you leave your weapon against the barrier, you can actually cause it to jam. And now your weapon is basically useless because it's jammed and it doesn't eject a round or load a second round. At the same time, if you have it pressed against there, it could still catch and do the same thing and not eject a round or cycle the next round in completely. So we want to make sure we don't do the bad. You also don't want your entire body leaned up over the barrier like this. You want to be able to keep it back. And if you're behind, you're not really sure what you're shooting. So one technique that you can do, and this is just an option, is your left hand, in this case I'm right-handed on the right-hand side of the barrier. Your left hand, as you come across, I put my hand against the barrier. So one, I know if my hand is against the barrier, my weapon is not, and it's not going to jam on me. At the same time, I know I'm not too far forward because it's just my hand resting. That also helps me to stabilize the weapon and use it almost as a pivot to rotate and fire. Other options you can do is when you step, you can keep the weapon level and even like you would normally shoot, but because you're coming from behind a barrier, you can tilt your weapon. It's a little bit more of an advanced technique by tilting, but by tilting, I don't really have to expose as much of my body, I believe. Again, that's my opinion. Everybody is entitled to that. So reviewing the shooting, one of the things I tried to do is, it may not show very well on the video, but when I went to the right side, I tried to keep everything even and level, just like I was normally shooting, and kind of rotate through. As I went to the left side after my reload, you'll notice that I actually tilted the gun, and I felt that that gave me a little bit less exposure on my side as I rotated and shot in the opposite direction. Again, that's how I felt like doing it. The idea behind this at OVR is come in here and try that. Work around these barriers. Work on these reloads. You know, overall on the time, it took about 8.5 seconds for that entire drill, and that was from a holster draw, 3 targets double tapped, reload, 3 more targets double tapped. So, you know, get in here to OVR, try these drills. This is a really great drill to do because if you're having to carry, ideally you want to shoot from behind a barrier. You want to use that barrier as a protection. And so work on that practice on that as much as you can.